Brooklyn General Hospital had long prided itself on being a beacon of hope in the heart of the city. Behind its polished lobby, award-winning ER, and press-friendly charity events, the hospital boasted a reputation for excellence. But that was just the surface. Beneath it ran something quieter. Darker. Something people whispered about in locked rooms or not at all. Nurse Olivia Carter had spent almost 10 years walking those halls. She'd trained fresh-faced interns, yet soothed grieving families, and stayed awake through too many overnight shifts. She knew the hospital like she knew her own skin. Or thought she did. The night it started, she was finishing a double shift when she found Sarah Whitman, a surgical intern curled up in the corner of the break room, shaking. Hey. Olivia crouched beside her. Are you hurt? Sarah flinched at her voice. Her eyes were red and unfocused. After a long silence, she whispered, Dr. Keller. Olivia froze. What about him? Sarah's lips trembled. He touched me. I said no, he didn't care. The silence between them was thick. And I'm not the only one. Olivia felt her chest tighten. She'd heard stories over the years, just vague enough to be dismissed. Keller was a star surgeon, photogenic, sharp, hand-picked for interviews and gala panels. But there were always whispers. Nurses who transferred departments without explanation. Interns who left mid-residency. Some even called it getting K'd, hospital slang for quietly vanishing after crossing the wrong person. Olivia had chalked it up to burnout. Residency was hard. The hospital demanded everything. But now, hearing Sarah, the whispers snapped into focus. I'll help you, Olivia said. The next morning, she walked into Human Resources and reported the incident. She expected resistance. She didn't expect apathy. The HR officer, a man named David Lynn, barely glanced up from his screen. Please submit a written statement, Miss Carter. We take these matters seriously. I already said it out loud. Written documentation helps us follow protocol, he said, his tone robotic. We'll be in touch. She submitted the form. A week passed. Nothing. Another week. Still nothing. Sarah stopped showing up to rounds. Then one day she was gone. Her name vanished from the rotation board. No transfer notice, no goodbye. Olivia called her. Disconnected. She asked around, casually at first. A nurse in oncology said Sarah had left for personal reasons. A tech in radiology said she'd heard Sarah got cold feet about the program, but Olivia knew that wasn't the truth. One evening, while covering a shift at the admin station, Olivia spotted an email accidentally printed and left behind. She recognized the sender, David Lynn. Curiosity tugged at her. It wasn't just any email. It referenced a recent settlement. Final NDA, S. Whitman, Dr. Keller incident. Her blood ran cold. She wasn't supposed to see this. But it confirmed what she'd suspected. Sarah hadn't quit. She'd been silenced. And worse, the hospital was paying to make the problem disappear. Olivia considered her options. She tried going back to HR, but they dodged her. David Lynn wasn't available. She emailed. No response. She left voicemails. Nothing. So she reached out to the press. She wrote to 3 major outlets. Only one replied. Politely, then never followed up. Another bounced back with a line about insufficient substantiation. 2 days later, her locker was cleared out. No explanation. Just a note from facilities saying they thought she'd transferred units. Her personal items were, unfortunately, misplaced. That same week, her schedule changed without notice. She was suddenly working split shifts, back-to-back overnight rotations. A quiet punishment. When she confronted her supervisor, he shrugged. We go where we're needed, Olivia. The message was clear. Stay quiet, or we'll make you disappear too. But Olivia didn't back down. Instead, she contacted Julia Ramirez, an attorney known for suing large institutions. Julia listened, took notes, and nodded grimly. You're not the first to come to me about Brooklyn General, she said. Keller's name comes up. A lot. And it's never in writing, just NDAs, whisper networks, and sealed settlements. How many? Olivia asked. Confirmed? 8. But I'd bet my license it's more. Even Julia seemed cautious. You're gonna get pressure. Real pressure. The kind that makes you think twice about doing the right thing. She wasn't wrong. Days later, Olivia got an anonymous email from a masked address. Drop it, or we'll drop you. She forwarded it to hospital security. Their response? We'll look into it. She never heard back. Then came the break-in. Her apartment was ransacked. Nothing was stolen except for the folder she'd compiled. Copies of emails, names, dates, notes from Sarah's story. Gone. Olivia filed a police report. But the officer barely concealed his skepticism. "You sure it wasn't a burglary? These places usually aren't that organized." Her last hope was internal, the compliance office, but when she tried to schedule a meeting, she was told her case was being reviewed, pending new staffing priorities. That night, she decided the hospital was circling wagons. She needed to go public. Julia filed the lawsuit. Olivia was named as lead plaintiff. Within days, the story hit the media, first a local paper, then national outlets. Brooklyn General scrambled. Their legal team issued a statement denying wrongdoing. They claimed Olivia had a history of workplace conflicts. Keller took a leave of absence to focus on family. But the attention brought something else. Allies. A few weeks later, Olivia received a package at home, no return address. Inside, a flash drive. On it were dozens of internal emails, including direct communication between HR and hospital leadership. The subject lines were chilling. Subject: Keller, intern concern, handled. Subject: Re. Olivia Carter, risk assessment. Re. S. Whitman NDA, expense transfer to legal budget. There was also a note. "I'm sorry I didn't speak up sooner. You're not alone, M." Olivia remembered Mira, an HR coordinator who always looked uncomfortable during grievance meetings. Quiet, watchful. She'd once helped Olivia navigate a payroll mix-up, and Olivia had thanked her with a coffee and a kind word when no one else did. Apparently that had mattered. The case moved forward. Slowly, like all legal proceedings, it took over a year. During that time, Olivia worked part-time at a community clinic. Word spread. More women came forward, former interns, nurses, even 2 doctors. The trial opened with a flurry of media attention. Brooklyn General's lawyers tried to discredit everyone. They portrayed the women as bitter, career-stalled, vengeful. But the evidence was overwhelming. Sarah testified via secure video from an undisclosed location. "I signed the NDA because I was scared," she said. "But I'm not scared anymore. Dr. Keller did this, and the hospital knew." Testimony after testimony painted the same picture: a culture of silence, retaliation, a system designed to protect predators and punish truth-tellers. Then Julia played the leaked HR emails for the jury. Audible gasps filled the courtroom. The hospital tried to deny their authenticity. Forensics confirmed otherwise. Brooklyn General's defense crumbled. The jury deliberated for 4 days. Verdict: guilty. Keller lost his license. He was sentenced to 14 years in prison. The hospital was fined $24 million in damages. Several top administrators resigned. The New York State Department of Health launched an independent review. Months passed. Brooklyn General was sold to a nonprofit healthcare coalition. New policies were implemented. Anonymous reporting systems, independent ethics panels, internal NDAs were banned. Outside the crumbling hospital, Olivia met the press one last time. A for sale sign hung over the old entrance. Behind her, scaffolding went up as part of the hospital's Reformation initiative. "It wasn't one voice that made this happen," she said. "It was every voice that refused to be silenced." A reporter asked if she would ever return to work there. "No," she said, "but I'll keep fighting. Somewhere else." She turned and walked down the block, past the news vans, past the protesters and the cameras. She didn't look back.